So in the state of Michigan for the past 4 years, we've had a grant that we've been working with called TRIG. It's the Technology Readiness Infrastructure Grant, and it's been designed to help the state really make some huge strides to be better prepared for online testing, to get more access to technology, to build a better network. But one of those facets was professional development. We realized very early on that in the state, we were still doing a very traditional PD model. ISDs or service agencies were hosting face-to-face PD. Teachers would have to come to that, then go back to their classrooms. There were sub things and all the other pieces. So about 2 years ago, there was a previous version of what we were working on that was a valiant effort, and it transitioned into we want to build a system. Kind of just throw everything out there. We want to build a system that has personalized PD, multiple on and off ramps, the ability for an educator to say, I want to learn about item X. I want to be able to go learn about it, come back out, go back into it, come back out, and not sit through 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. Coming from the classroom, we instantly bought into that idea for a variety of reasons, but specifically because as a former teacher, you have no time. Being not a teacher anymore, I don't have any more time than they do, but teachers are the hugely valuable resource. So we started working on some of those pieces. So it turned into using Canvas as our LMS. And we could not have picked a better LMS. We couldn't do what we do without them from a variety of standpoints. So it turned into this idea of building these courses. And when we say build, they're for educators by educators. It's not, we try not to buy the content from somebody else. We went down that path. We had a couple of things that worked and then a handful of things that just wasn't a good fit. What we found was if we can find a teacher who's doing something awesome in math or literacy or special ed or data analysis, we work with them and we bring those pieces in. So we're going to talk to you a little bit about, and Jake's going to talk a little bit about all the courses that we have and what we're doing with some of those things. We'll also share some of the statistics of where we're at after 2 years. As you can imagine, just in our own area, we've got quite a few teachers to try to reach. And so we're trying to make those strides in the state of Michigan. And we're hitting a point now where people are, we were talking to somebody before the session, you know, as a grant and as a project, we were literally building that airplane as we were flying it. How many of you have been involved in a project where you're building, you feel our pain, we feel yours for whatever project you worked on. Well, we finally feel like that airplane is up there, it's flying. That's not an autopilot, we're not there yet, but we finally feel in control a little bit. And so we're engaging with folks, and they're saying, I like that airplane. I want to go where you're going. And they jump on board with us. Bless you. So we want to talk about those things a little bit. We have a really brief video that kind of helps articulate some of those pieces, and then Jake's going to take over and really start talking about how the EduPath's project works, the inner workings of some of those pieces, and some of the things we've developed.
We have a crisis in education. Smaller budgets, lack of time, and lots to accomplish. In this climate, how can you address the diverse learning needs of all your staff members while providing them with enough support and opportunities for professional learning? Fortunately, there's a resource that addresses these needs and so much more. EduPath's. Funded by a grant from the Michigan Department of Education, EduPath's has been strategically designed to help educators navigate their professional growth. First, every EduPath module is aligned with Michigan's School Improvement Framework, as well as multi-tiered systems of support. This means you don't have to learn a whole new vocabulary or initiative to be able to navigate EduPath's. You can easily find resources to meet the needs of small groups, reach school improvement goals, or appeal to individual interests. Second, say you're looking for methods to engage students using mobile devices to enhance workflow in your classroom. Don't worry, we have you covered. From data to instruction to technology and tiered strategies, EduPath's has been designed to meet many diverse needs. And what about time and budget? No worries. While some programs we connect to may be fee-based, every module designed for EduPath's is completely free. Yep, free. And because they're bite-sized and self-paced, you can access them anytime and any place. What does this mean for you? Maximum time management and efficiency. Don't forget about continuing education credits. Educators can receive state continuing education clock hours and badges after completion of modules. We want to make sure your time and effort are recognized, so transcripts are available to illustrate your learning. Finally, we are reducing the duplication of effort. That's just a really fancy way of saying we are linking you to high-quality professional development via
So I do want to just throw out there really quick, EduPath's was built and funded for Michigan educators. No Michigan educator has to pay for access or to take courses. We are in the process of making our courses available out of state. That looks very different depending on your state's needs, your district's needs, or even just your own personal needs. But that's where we want to have conversations with you. Come up to us, let us know, hey, this is where I'm at, this is how I could use EduPath's. Let's have that conversation. So some of those things that you see where our courses are allow teachers to get their continuing credit hours, that's through the state of Michigan. If you are from, we've met some brilliant people from California, North Carolina, Chicago. We can work with you to find out, all right, how can we do what you need from Michigan for Chicago, North Carolina, wherever.
It's coming back up. So a couple of things you'll see when we actually get in there is the laptop comes back up and then hopefully the projector as well when the source comes back on. We have about 190 courses to date. So in the past 18 months, we've worked to develop those and bring those in. We've got around 6,000 teachers signed up, growing every day. We have around 13,000 completions, which means a teacher has gone, enrolled in a course, and then completed it. That was one of the biggest challenges we immediately saw was we can put 1 million resources in front of teachers, and they can go to them. But unless they actually engage with that material and do something with it, we're really not doing anything. So we can track completions. And then just within our state, we've awarded a ton of sketches, which is how our teachers, for some of them, that's how they get recertified or get their continuing certification renewed from whenever it has expired.
So if you want to, while it's still loading, if you want to go to edupaths.org, you can kind of poke around our site, basically do the same thing that I'm going to do here in a minute once the presentation comes back up. EduPaths.org, and again, we'll make this slide deck available on the app later. But you'll notice right away that you can go through find courses, explore. All of our courses are listed or controlled through pathways. If you say, you know what, I'm really looking for something through instructional tech, we have a technology pathway. If you say, you know what, I'm really looking into data, curriculum, foundations of education for some of our pre-service or first year, second year teachers. All of our courses are funneled through those pathways. But then once they get into a pathway, they were built by the educator with a specific learning level in mind. For example, if you've never been introduced to MTSS, Multi-Tiered Systems of Support, and you need to be introduced to that for the first time, we have introductory modules built by an educator just introducing someone. But then let's say, all right, I took that 1 hour course, I want to learn more. We get educators to continue those courses in tiered and stratified courses to kind of take your learning from an introductory level up to an application level. Anthony was talking about how we host or we contract with teachers who are doing great things. Right now we're in the process of building courses that use Sphero in the course, or in their classrooms, excuse me. That online course in EduPath's comes equipped with lesson plans so that a teacher can go from the online course in EduPath's directly into the classroom. Immediate application. Now, not every course is application-based. Some of them are very discovery-based. Some of them are a little bit higher, explore, and then some of them are apply. And we're gonna walk through a specific course so you can kind of get a feel for EduPath's. Now, here's the nice thing. Although EduPath's is built and kind of tiered around Michigan educators, we do have free courses available to anybody in the United States. They're limited. We can only say, all right, here's our 10, and I don't know if it's 10, it might be 9, 8 of our best courses. Here's an example of what EduPath's look like. Feel free to go in, register. It's free to register, free to sign up. You'll have to authenticate your email. You have to sign up, give us some demographic information. Where are you from? We want to know who we're servicing. Then poke around through a course. See if it meets your own learning needs. There we go. EduPath's, EduPaths.org. And we do have a lot of literature that we can hand out afterwards.
So we're back. That's just off my,
Awesome.
yeah. That clicker won't work though.
So go to the next slide, and we'll just jump right into EduPath's.
This one?
Yep. Okay. Please, thank you.
Wouldn't be a tech conference if there weren't a little
There
technical
we go.
difficulties. There you go.
So when we go into EduPath's, doggone you. Any PC users in here? Yeah? What do you feel like when you touch a Mac? It's like gritty and grimy, right?
Greatness. You feel greatness.
Whatever. So when I go into EduPath's, and this is a live link, which should take us in.
Yeah, fire away. We can multitask.
I noticed that when I just put through some of your courses, it says credit eligible.
So what we've most recently done is when we originally built our airplane, our system, it was just for the state of Michigan. We were focused only on that. What we realized was part of our sustainability, we had to look at it from a more broad spectrum. So right now what you're seeing is a forward-facing across the country. This is what it looks like for EduPath. So whether you're from Colorado, Utah, California, Florida, that's what you're seeing some of those pieces. For our Michigan educators, when they sign in, it switches from credit eligible to be yes, because credit means something to us. In our portal is what we call it, or our system. But for somebody else, that might not mean anything. So that clarifies that. Thank you. It's a good question.
So the course that we're going to specifically navigate through is Inquiry-Based Learning Research in the Classroom. Now you look at our immediately homepage interface, our landing page, so to speak. It all looks the same. It all navigates. It all functions the same. First of all, you'll start off by watching a basic navigation video. That lets a first-time user know, start here. This is how you'd go through our courses. Our courses are built two different ways, through Canvas's rich text, HTML. We also build courses in a presentation platform called Articulate Storyline. It migrates beautifully into Canvas. One of them has one look, almost like a blog or an article read look, which is what we're going to look at today. You might also find some that are articulate-based or player-based. So when you go into that course and you get to lesson begins here and you're ready to actually engage with the course, it actually brings up a player. And you take the course through that player, which is embedded. So we're going to just jump right through these very quickly. Okay. Course description. This gives you as a user the information. And by the way, as you're kind of poking around EduPath's, you can actually go through the course descriptions in EduPath's before you ever go into the course. That way you don't get halfway into a course and go, yeah, this isn't what I was hoping it would be. We don't want to waste your time. If you get into EduPath's, we want you to know what you're going into it for, why you're taking it, and then just jump right in with both feet.
Do you want me to navigate?
If you don't mind,
Yep.
I'm not going to lie, it's burning my fingertips.
Course description?
Yes, please. And then,
Just clicking a mouse.
yep. So we do have, in some cases, suggested prerequisites. There are some educators who will build a course around maybe a book study. Now, we can't necessarily embed that content into our course, but we can suggest, hey, with this course, you're going to want to go read this book. We tie all, as we want to make sure that we're modeling good instructional practices. So if Michigan educators, and I actually don't know about other states, but I'd love to have conversations with you about it. Michigan educators are expected to identify learning objectives or learning targets for learners, very, very visible. We want you to know these are the things we want you to be able to know, understand, or do by the end of this course. We tie in a creator bio. Now, this person is also an adjunct professor at Western and Michigan State, go green. And you can read a little bit about her. All of our creators get this in their courses. We want you to be proud of what you're putting out in front of the country as far as personalized PD. And we don't want to have this facade of EduPath's created it. No, human beings that have their livelihood in the classroom created these courses. And if you want to reach out to them to say, hey, loved your course, would love to connect with you more, there's contact information. FAQ stuff, kind of some basic overlying information, give you a basic course outline. And then this is where Michigan educators will actually see a yes for sketches, statewide continuing education credit hours. Again, course navigation. and then we get into the actual course itself. Now, I've noticed that everybody, I've gone through about 3 or 4 different presentations, people build their courses in Canvas differently. Ours is a page with tabs. So what we do is we try and keep our user from having to scroll down too far. So it's more of a lateral or a horizontal navigation. All of the information is right there. If you scroll too far, we want you to go back up to the next tab. And so that kind of allows us to almost chapterize our content to say, all right, if you've got, I don't know, let's say 1,000 words, we want to chunk those up so the user can take them in little bits and pieces. Now you'll notice that this educator has created a bunch of videos. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Just on your previous comment, the tabs that you're doing,
Yes, sir.
worried that CSS is going to break at some point?
So we have about 190 courses. We've never had that happen. And I can say that I'm not smart enough to really know how to fix that, but the team that I'm a part of is brilliant. And anytime we've had to do some troubleshooting, we find a solution, we push that solution out, and we make sure that, like, if you call our EduPath's hotline, you're gonna call my desk. If you say, hey, I'm in this course and this happened, I'm actually gonna go into that course in real time and fix it. Does that make sense? Please don't call all of you at the same time. Now, I'm from Michigan, so it's 12:20. Try and kind of stagger it throughout the day, okay? Keep me on my toes.
Do you want to go all the way through the course?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
I would be happy to click for you.
And then just pause real quick. Now, we do make sure that our educators are assessing the users in a way that gives us the highest credibility without necessarily throwing them through 20, 30 questions. We do use discussion boards. We want our users to engage with each other. Those discussion boards are not meant to document whether or not learning took place on our end, because to be fair, based on how our grant was written, we don't have instructors on the back end of these. We have customer service representatives making sure that the course functions and flows, but we make sure that the educator is building in self-checks to check for understanding, check for proficiency and mastery. So anytime you come across these self-checks, they were built right into Canvas, or in some capacities built right into Articulate Storyline, built by the educator. Yes, sir?
So you don't have a teacher behind it?
No, sir. These are not proctored.
So the discussion board, there's no one monitoring what's going in there?
No, sir. Now, I can go in. We have had a couple people where, full transparency, we have educators who will click next all the way through a course. They'll finish an hour course in 6 minutes. Their discussion board post is okay. We do contact those educators and say, listen, we appreciate you going through our course. If you're going to apply for sketches, for our own integrity, we need you to go back in and maybe engage with the course a little bit more. I can tell you in the 19 months I've been here, one educator is who we've had contact. Now that person was trying to take all of our courses in 3 months. That's not what we were meant for. So it's, but to be fair, that's not the rule, right? The majority of educators are not looking to abuse systems. They are actually looking for personalized professional development that meets their individual needs. That's what I want to do. I just want to put something out there. I just want to be a hub of a wheel. Just point you in the right direction, if that makes sense. So the rest of our...
And I think to your point, and we'll get to this later, maybe towards the end of the session, this is not designed to replace adult PD or teacher PD. It's designed to supplement it and differentiate it. So we'll get to that a little bit later when we talk at the very end.
So really what I'd like to do is go back to the EduPath's home screen, and let's actually navigate into a course. Yes, ma'am.
Before you leave your quizzes, do you give them feedback on their quizzes as they go? Can they take them again?
Yes,
Is that
ma'am.
how they get their points? Tell me about your quizzes.
Okay, so the way our quizzes are set up is it's not a point value based to move through. We don't have gatekeepers and key masters that say you've got to be able to do this in order to move through. If you do commit to the time and energy to take our course, we want you to be able to take it. Now, we do give correct and incorrect answers. We do give feedback that actually hyperlinks back to where that information was housed. However, if you aren't sitting through one of our courses to learn and grow professionally, me doing that is actually going to frustrate you and you're not going to want to come back. My hope is that we can provide such a scope of professional development, not just curriculum-based, not just grade level specific. I want to offer such a scope that you actually enjoy going through the course, if that answers your question. Okay.
So I'm going to give Jake a second to, do you want to log in right now, or do you want to show him this page first? Because this probably won't mean as much to them if we don't show them the Michigan piece.
I don't need to log in to kind of just show them the basic navigation, so why don't you go ahead?
So, okay, so what we're going to talk about now is in all of this is Canvas, right? That's the house that we're in, right? We want to kind of show you what's just on this side and just on this side, and that will really kind of showcase some of the pieces that we had to do as part of the grant, but have turned out to be really powerful pieces that we want to do. So you want me to log into my account?
Sure.
I don't know my password.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so I have a password manager. Why would I remember it?
So as Anthony's trying to remember his password, what he was talking about is we have essentially a storefront. EduPath's is the HTML storefront to our backend Canvas. And what we are in the process of doing, the reason we are in Colorado, Anthony and I have both adjunct professors at a local college in Michigan that used a different LMS. I loathe it. I love Canvas. What we are trying to do is we are trying to encourage people to say, listen, don't try and build something from the ground up. We will give you the same storefront with another access to whatever professional development you're interested in going after, whether it's housed inside EduPath's, maybe you've got bulk PD that you want to host. Let's have those conversations.
All right, it's your login, but I'll navigate. Tell me where you're going to click.
Go to Browse Pathways. So when you click Browse Pathways, let's just say you're looking around and you want to search for, let's type in the course that we were looking for or looking at, inquiry. Just type in inquiry. Now you'll notice that we only have 2 courses. That's because the free version, we make limited courses available to you guys just so that you get a taste of what EduPath's is. I want you to like that taste and say, hey, I want more. If we click the inquiry-based learning research in the classroom, you'll see the course description, very simplistic. You'll notice that this is not Canvas. This is the HTML, this is the storefront, right? You're just shopping. Credit eligible, yes, because these are Michigan specific. Duration, hours and minutes. I can promise you that we have less than 1/10 of our courses are more than an hour long because we want an introductory to that course. Take that course a little bit deeper. Take that course even deeper. I operated a flipped classroom in the high school. We have introduction to flipped. We have how to get started with flipped. We have application of flipped. We want you to say, here's an hour, here's an hour, here's an hour, and not say, here's a 6-hour commitment. Once you go in, you have to commit all 6 hours before you get to exit. Does that make sense?
And the hour can be 5 minutes between 2 classes during a lunch period. Go in for 5 minutes, watch the video. Okay, I got to step back out. Jump in and out as many times as you want.
And not to say that all of our courses are an hour. We've got courses that are a half hour, 20 minutes, 45 minutes. You find what meets your needs, and if you need more and we don't have it, contact me. Let's find out how we can build that. Go ahead, sir.
So you mentioned earlier that in many courses you'll show suggested prerequisite work.
If there are, yes, sir.
If there are, so are you staging that in here as well, where if I wanted to jump to applications of flipped, it would say, we suggest you are already have completed this, or at least are familiar enough with the concept.
So when we have courses that are built in a series, we do link back to them, but not in the Canvas. We link them back to this page right here so that you're aware, all right, this is what you're getting into. Because we want, once you get into Canvas through EduPath's, we want you to already know, yep, this is what I want to take. Now, we don't put the prerequisites on this page for one simple reason. We want to keep it simple. Very, very basic format. What's the course about? How long is it going to take me? And can I get credit? To be fair, a lot of our Michigan educators, because of the extensive demand that is put on them, they're really just trying to meet those requirements. What is going to give me credit? All right, now I'm going to look through and say, all right, I'll get the best bang for my buck to go through that course. We don't want to bog them down with a lot of information right here. Hopefully that answered the question.
And so the user at this point would just click enroll, And it would go, and it's now enrolled them in the course in Canvas in the back end, and then you either go back to the pathways, explore more, back to the details, or continue right under the course, and now they're dumped in. Side note, our programmer who's kind of monitoring things just said, hey, we just had a huge influx of out-of-state registrations. Yeah, remember we're in Colorado, buddy.
So here's what I want to do now, and hopefully, unless, do you have anything else?
You want to show them the transcript?
So we do have in our own state, we have reporting. Teachers have to go back to their district. My wife is an elementary teacher. Anthony's wife is an elementary teacher. They have to be able to go back to their administrator and prove that they completed some level of professional development. In EduPath's, when you've completed a course, we build a transcript that allows you to not only document all of your courses, but you can print out specific certificates per course to say, hey, our school improvement goal this year is MTSS. Here's my proof that I went through a 1-hour training on MTSS. Now, when you come in to evaluate me, you know that I've got some background knowledge. Now, if you want me to go further, you got to help me out, right? But I've gone through my part. I've done my part to kind of learn. Now, we do have educators in Michigan that when they submit for sketches, those are our statewide continuing education credit hours, they'll print off their entire transcript and then say, all right, I need credit for all of these. We handle all of that for them. Keep it easier on the educator, okay? I love my job, but the stress of my job right now is nothing compared to when I was in the classroom as a high school math teacher. I want to make it easier for educators, not harder, okay? Yes, ma'am.
Is the transcript available if you're using the free course option?
Yes, ma'am.
So as Jake finishes courses, you'll see the course name, you'll see the enrollment status as active, meaning he's actively doing things, how much progress he has in the course, how many modules are complete. Now the completion date is, he hasn't said I'm complete with this yet, how much time he's spent in there. So the user can say, oh, I was supposed to spend an hour and I've only spent 8 minutes. Red flag, probably not gonna happen. He can conclude the enrollment if he's finished all the way through. He can hit the play button and go back to where he kind of left off. And that printable transcript is either PDF or spreadsheet. So as a user, I can export this as a PDF and this is what they can print and then submit to their administrator, to us for sketches, to the state of Michigan, or whatever else they want. All of those functions are available in the free accounts.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is the button right here, essentially, is that what you're asking? So, and I wish I could beam Ken in right now, our programmer, but we weren't able to essentially conclude enrollment. So we might have a course just kind of open with 1,000 users in it. So he figured out a way in his mad genius to be able to say, this is no longer an active enrollment. I want to conclude that enrollment, but still have access to the course. We weren't able to do that before. And again, if he were here, he'd give you a very technical, some jargon, make you kind of feel a little, okay, whatever. But now we're able to do that. So if Jake had hit 18 out of 18, he would be able to hit that button and his enrollment would say complete. Can go back to the course, can look at the resources, can do what he wants, but that's how those things are popping up.
And once you've completed a course, you still have access to it. Now, we do have an internal review. We are retiring courses, and we are improving on active courses. So you may see a course that you went through last year and say, man, I remember a resource in there. I want to go back into it. You might get into it and say, hey, error. That's because we've actually updated that course. You might search for the exact same name and find the exact same course, and you're like, well, I already completed this. It'll show completed on your transcript. You just might not have access to it because we've quote unquote retired it. Hopefully that makes sense. So what I'd like to do in the last few minutes, we have access to the transcript. A lot of information is available on our website. Please feel free to play. But what I'd love to do is open up for Q&A, and I really encourage you to get into EduPath's and actually start playing around in a course, whether it's the design of the course. I am not an expert in instructional design. If you have tips, hints, tricks that you want to tell me about, I would love to learn, okay? At the same time, if you want to know more about EduPath's and how we're doing it in Michigan and how you can use it in wherever you're at, we have people, again, from Chicago, California, South Carolina, North Carolina. I would love to engage in those conversations. If you should just say, hey, listen, I just need a piece of information, and then I'll catch up with you later. I'll actually reach back out to you later. We have business cards. We have pamphlets. Right now, just kind of Q&A, want you to play around in EduPath's. Right now is more for you. What do you need?
As
No,
So
sorry.
the question is, just for everybody, the transcript and the forward-facing, the pathways and all the course listings, we originally attempted to use the catalog that was built within Canvas, and it served its purpose for what we did, but our grant requirements forced us to take the extra step, and the state of Michigan said you have to have that transcript on the back end. So our programmer says, all right, I'm gonna make API calls and do all these different things. Again, the mad genius that he is. So no, they're not in Canvas, they're extra pieces, but it's pulling Canvas data into it. Course completion, things like that.
Approximately how many courses are free?
So Anthony has made it a conscious effort for the people in the state of Michigan that if it's not free, we don't directly point them to it. We offer a calendar option where if a local ISD, a statewide agency says, we want people to be aware that we offer PD too, we will point users to it, but we'll use our calendar feature and not actually bring it into EduPath's because we want people to be in EduPath's for free courses, again, in the state of Michigan. Does that make sense?
Are you asking for out of state though? Yeah, so if our programmer might, don't tell him I said this. Wait, is this on camera? Oh, don't watch this, Ken. Just pause this part. I'm pretty sure all of you that signed up for an account today, or if you do it soon enough, you're gonna get dumped into the premium one. You're gonna get access to everything. So sign up now.
And then what happens is...
I can't guarantee that at some point we're not gonna say, if you wanna continue this, you know, we might need to put you in a subscription, but if you send me an email and say, hey, I was at your presentation, you were a really funny guy, the guy you were with was really boring, I'll find a way to keep your subscription or your premium piece. Because you're gonna go back and tell other people, and that's the power of your voice is more powerful than anything else we can do. So from that point, you probably are gonna see all 190 plus courses right now. But if at some point, probably whenever we get a technical piece set up, I think it's gonna be about 12. So there's will be about 12 free courses. They'll be the best of the best, the highest rated, the most completions. We may go to 15, may go down to 10. It'll kind of vary based on the data that we have. But for any Michigan educator, all they have to do is say, hey, I'm from Michigan, and we pop them into
And
the...
there's some authorization, there's some demographic information that they've got to provide for us. Not necessarily that I'm going to contact that district and say, hey, is so-and-so still in third grade? No, but it does allow us to say we have... For reporting on our end, I'm a data guy. I love being able to go to a superintendent and say, we have 85% of your teachers using EduPath's. Just adopt us. You know what I mean? So, yes, ma'am.
So outside of 12, we're from Utah, we're interested in doing this. What's the price, how does the pricing work for those courses that aren't?
So right now it's a subscription-based model. So if you're a one-off teacher in Utah, I believe it's $75 for an annual subscription. $75 gets you access to all of that. But I tell you that to know that we also are working with a couple of groups. We have a group in Wisconsin that we're working with who came to us and said, we're trying to do what you're doing. We don't want to invest all the time, effort, and energy that you already have. Can we work something out? And that's something that we can sit down and hammer through as far as like a district adoption or something else. Yeah. We chat right after this, absolutely. Anybody else, feel free to shoot an email or stop by.
And I can say this from having worked with Anthony prior to EduPath's and then now with EduPath's, there really is no. It's how do we make it happen? Does that make sense? And so to kind of project that same answer to everybody, regardless of what state you're in, regardless of whether or not you're looking for an individual or a district, contact us. We'll figure out how it can happen. Yeah, no problem. And again, we have a lot of information up here if you're saying, hey, listen, great job. I've got 8 minutes and I want to walk to my next one and not lose my breath. We have information. We can just hand you some literature and you can contact us later. If you want to stick around and do some more face-to-face Q&A, or you just want to play around in EduPath's, call me over and say, hey, I noticed this. Have you tried this? Would love to have those conversations.
Any other questions from the group before we conclude?
Wonderful. Let's give each other a round of applause. Thank you guys so much.
And on behalf of Genesee ISD and EduPath's, thank you so much for taking the time to come to this session. There's a ton of great things happening, and we appreciate your time to share our vision and our mission.